I'm taking the 300K My Forex Funds Challenge and I'm recording everything so that you can learn from my system and one day get funded or stack multiple accounts. My system and routine has allowed me to pass over 8 prop firm challenges. I'm funded with some of the top names in the industry and I've made thousands trading. You click this video because you want to get funded too. So I'm creating a docu-series where I record my journey passing the 300K My Forex Funds Challenge for the first time. And this is episode number 1. Let's talk about why I'm doing this. 1 million in funding by the end of 2023 is what I'm challenging myself to do through maxing out both FTMO, who I've been funded with for almost 2 years now, and My Forex Funds. I'll be documenting my markups, my live trades in the MT5, recording my screens, filling out my daily report card, and more. And in this video, I'm going to purchase the account and share my game plan for passing the challenge. Everything from my risk management strategy, psychology, the types of trade setups that I'll be looking to take. I'll be setting up my EA for my risk management, and I'll discuss the hidden My Forex Funds rule that you should watch out for when taking an evaluation. If you want the short and sweet version on how to pass any prop firm challenge, check out my 5 elite tips in this video, which almost at the time of this recording has 100,000 views. If you want to see my entire setup, my entire system, my daily routine, keep watching this video series. There are 5 things that I'll be using throughout this docu-series. Number 1 is my playbook, which is the core of my trading business. Number 2 is my daily report card. I use this to set a goal for each day and make incremental improvements every day. It also includes my trading plan, which you'll see. Number 3 is I'll be recording my screens. I record all my trades, especially in the challenge and evaluations, to replay the trades from the day to see what I could do better or how to make small improvements, which all count when it comes to trading big capital. Number 4 is I'll be using an EA. I use EAs for automatic lot calculation, which you'll see shortly. Number 5 is the TradingView bar replay. I'll be using it to practice plays from my playbook. Generally, I'll look at the live market and review setups from the past that are similar to the live market, and I'll get some reps in with those setups while I wait for my confirmations in the live market. Now, let's talk about my game plan. For phase 1, I'm normally very aggressive. When I first started taking prop firm challenges, I used to tiptoe around the challenge. I used to be extremely careful and try not to take any losses. I would overly obsess over the P&L, and this was a big mistake. Now, I ignore the P&L. What I do is I determine how many trades I want to give myself until I hit the max loss. And I trade that series of trades, and I don't worry about the P&L. I cut the losers and I hold the winners. Also, I don't want this docu-series to go on forever, so I'm going to take only A+ and A setups, and I'm going to risk around 2 to 3% per A+ A trade, meaning I'm going to give myself 4 to 6 trades to lose in a row. I'll be trading from the daily and 4-hour time frames. They are high probability. I believe that they'll be enough for what I need to do in phase 1. So another stat that you should know is that I have never taken more than 2 losses in a row in the past year. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but it rarely happens because I trade with the daily and 4-hour trend, and I mostly take trades from those zones. I'm sharing my style with you so that you can understand why I'm able to risk 2 to 3% on phase 1, especially when I want to be aggressive. I would recommend that if you're beginning, you should definitely risk less. I trade phase 2 and the funded account much differently. So for phase 2, I pull my risk back to 1 to 1.5% risk on A trades since I have 60 days, giving myself about 10 trades to lose to hit my max loss. Now, so you don't beat phase 1 or phase 2 by trying to avoid losses. You beat it by winning, right? You have to cut the losers and let the winners run. Now, the funded account, how do I trade the funded account? The funded account, I start with a risk of about 0.5% and I bring my account to about 1 to 3% profit and take my first withdrawal. Personally, it works better for my psyche to get a withdrawal when I first pass a funded challenge. And 3% on a 300K account is not bad at all. That's 9K in a month, and that is a good amount, especially with my other accounts. Sometimes, if I take consecutive wins on the funded account, I'll continue to trade until I take a loss and stop there. So to recap, phase 1, 2 to 3% on A and A+ trades. I don't want the docu-series to carry on very long, so this is a little extra pressure that I'm taking on for you all. 2% might seem risky to you, but I've done this multiple times, so I have a different perspective. The price of the 300K evaluation is less than what I risk per trade currently. Currently, I risk $3,000 per trade and the evaluation is only around $1,300. On any given trading day, I can lose $3,000 on one trade. So losing $1,300 from a month of trading won't hurt me. This is an important psychological factor. For those of you who want to get funded, I recommend you purchase an evaluation that you can afford at least 5 times or that cost and amount that you're willing to risk on one trade with live money. So if you wouldn't risk 1,000 on one trade right now with live money, or you can't afford it 5 times, take a cheaper challenge. It'll be easier on your psyche. Most of you will risk $100, $150, or $250 on one trade right now. If that's the case, take a challenge that is closer to that amount. It'll be easier on the psyche, trust me. Also, I'm aggressive with phase 1 because my time is worth a lot. These challenges can span over 90 days if you're tiptoeing. So for me, I'd rather be aggressive and focus on A setups and size up when they appear. If I lose 5 A trades in a row, something is wrong, right? I haven't lost more than 2 A setups in a row in the past year. So one other thing that I also must mention is my risk to reward is an average 1 to 3. So if I risk 2% per trade, I'll also be making 6% when I win. So 1 win will take up for 3 losses. So as long as I don't have a losing streak, it is more likely that I'll pass phase 1 because of that risk to reward. If I'm risking 6K, I'll be making 18. So you'll see how this plays out as the docu-series continues. Now for phase 2, I'll be risking between 1 to 1.5% for A and A plus trades. I don't rush the 60-day phase 2. You may say 1% is still high, but from my perspective, you don't beat these challenges by not losing. You beat the challenges by winning. I know how to trade through losses. Look at 2 of my FTMO challenges. See how I took a loss and then kept trading. And my wins are significantly larger than my losses. See, I took a loss here and here, but my wins are dramatically bigger. You will never be a pro trader if you can't cut the losses and let the winners run. This is very, very important. Now, in regards to the funded account, I traded totally different in regards to risk. For the first payout on this 300K account, I'll drop the risk down to 0.5%. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so that you can watch the entire journey from phase 1, phase 2, to the payout. Now let's talk about the types of trades I'll be taking. My main strategy is supply and demand. I use the Wyckoff method, the 4 market phases, and the break and retest. I'll be simply looking for break and retest setups on the higher time frames. I consider these layups, easy money shots that most traders overlook. They're simple and highly profitable when the market is trending or breaks out of a range. I'll also be using supply and demand on the 4-hour and 1-hour. These setups are a little more challenging at times and they take patience, but these are my go-to bread and butter setups with high risk to reward. I'll be taking all of these from the higher time frame, so I might not take a lot of trades during this docu-series, but that is good for you to see that you don't need a lot of trades, especially if you aren't a scalper. Now, let's go ahead and buy the account and load it into MT5. After this, I have a warning for everyone taking the My Forex Funds challenges, so don't miss out. I want to reveal a simple mistake that will cost you your evaluation. So I'm going to the My Forex Funds website. I'm selecting the 300K account, Bismillah, with the name of God. It is through God's mercy and His help that we will have success. I'm entering my credit card information here. Now let's look for the email from My Forex Funds saying that we successfully registered, and let's look for our credentials. Okay, now I'm going to grab my login credentials from my email and load them into the MT5. Let me copy the credentials to MT5 now. Okay, great. Now I have the account loaded and I'm going to set up my EA that I use to calculate my lots. I'm going to set a limit order to ensure everything is working properly at 2%. Okay, great. We have a trade here with a limit order set. Now, before leaving, let me talk to you about one of the My Forex Funds rules that causes unaware traders to violate the challenge when they are in profit. This rule is the 5% daily drawdown equity rule. This rule has caught many people by surprise because you don't violate this rule when you are in drawdown. Normally, people violate this rule when they are in profit. Please like and subscribe. If you want to learn more about this rule and how to avoid it, watch this video.